The Sunday dinner table. Do you remember the Sunday dinners? The smell of roasted chicken filling the house, the sound of dishes clinking, and the laughter of children echoing down the hallway. For many of us, those dinners were the heartbeat of family life. Every week, no matter how busy the days had been, we knew that Sunday evening meant one thing: family. Dad would finally set aside his work. Mom would be busy in the kitchen wearing that apron she'd had for years. And the children, we would wait, impatiently, for the table to be ready. There was always something special about that table. It wasn't just wood and nails. It was where we discovered who we were. Grandpa would lean back in his old chair and tell stories about his youth, about the war, about how life used to be so much harder, and yet somehow simpler. Grandma would laugh softly, adding her own memories, her hands folded neatly in her lap. At that table, we learned patience, for we only began once everyone had been served. We learned gratitude, because we always began with a prayer, thanking God for the food and for each other. And we learned love, because no matter what arguments had happened during the week, around that table, forgiveness was always found. Do you remember the food? Not just the turkey at Thanksgiving, or the glazed ham at Christmas, but the simple meals too. The pot roast that cooked all afternoon, the homemade bread with butter melting into it, the apple pie cooling on the windowsill. These weren't just recipes, they were family traditions passed down like treasures from one generation to the next. Back then, there were no phones at the table, no televisions blaring in the background. It was just us, talking, laughing, sharing stories. Those dinners made us feel like we belonged. They reminded us that no matter what was happening out in the world, inside that dining room, we were safe. We were home. But times have changed. Families today are busier. Children have their activities, parents work late, and sometimes the dinner table sits quietly, waiting for company that never comes. And yet, the memory of those Sunday dinners never leaves us. It lives on, in the recipes we cook, in the stories we tell, and in the warmth we feel whenever the family does gather together. Perhaps you remember a night like this. The table was crowded, dishes passed from hand to hand, everyone talking over one another, laughing so hard that tears filled their eyes. And in that moment, you knew you were part of something bigger than yourself. You were part of a family. Family dinners taught us more than table manners. They taught us kindness because we listened to each other. They taught us respect because everyone had a voice. And they taught us love because every shared meal was an act of giving. So tonight, maybe it's time to bring back that tradition. Sit down with your loved ones. Cook something simple. Turn off the TV, set aside the phones, and just be together. Because every family dinner is more than a meal, it's a memory waiting to be made. And when we look back, years from now, those memories of laughter, of stories, of the people we love, will be what we cherish the most. Because the table may grow old, the plates may chip, the chairs may creak, but the love shared around a family dinner, that never fades. Maybe it has been a while since your family last sat down together. Maybe life has gotten busy and the table has grown quiet. But what if this week you decided to bring it back? What if you cooked a favorite dish, invited your children, your grandchildren, and shared a meal together?